Hey TpT sellers, and welcome back to another episode on the Teachers Boost channel. Today I want to speak about AI and the effect that it is having on TpT. And then most importantly, we will go through some steps to figure out what AI can and cannot do in terms of resource creation so that we can decide where to put our energy and our very valuable time. So I've been seeing comments all over Facebook and social media about AI and how prominent it is becoming on TPT. And I don't want to sugarcoat it by saying that it's fine, everything will be okay, because I think it's really important to accept the reality of AI and where it's heading. As we know, AI has massive benefits, and we'll tap into some of those in the upcoming videos, but it's also creating some pretty harsh competition for us as TBT sellers. There are more and more stores popping up that are just pumping out AI generated products. And initially, I found this pretty scary, I'd say, and also really demotivating. But I've had to make this mindset shift because when I think about it realistically, there's nothing that I can do to stop it. The only thing that I can do is face it in a more productive way. So I started thinking about the products that I want to create in terms of how AI resistant they are. Some products can be created by AI in seconds, but others need real teacher expertise and classroom experience, something that AI just cannot give. So, ironically, I thought that the best way to find out what AI can and cannot do was to just ask AI itself. So I took two different sets of keywords that I found using our trending keyword tool. And the first set on the left relates to math products and charts. And the second set on the right relates to read alouds and crafts. And then I simply asked ChatGPT, can you make these easily? So when it came to the math products and charts, we had partial products, anchor charts, multiplication partial products, resources around this math concept of partial products. ChatGPT said that it could easily make these. And the main reason was that these are math based resources, which means that they follow very clear rules. So there are clear rules for the partial products method. It's not a subjective topic. There are not a wide range of different ways to explain the method. So it's a highly structured resource, I'd say. AI can generate the steps and the instructions easily. It can also give clear examples. It can generate the anchor charts easily, and it can format it visually because there is minimal content and potentially no images or definitely no complex graphics. So we can see how these may not be ideal products to go for. Of course, human input would still be beneficial, but if someone is able to generate these products with AI in a matter of minutes or seconds sometimes, and then publish it on TBT at a low cost, it may not be worth my time to try compete with it. Then I asked ChatGPT about the read alouds and crafts. And to be honest, when I asked this, I expected ChatGPT to say, yes, this is easy because I can generate stories very easily. I can generate instructions very easily. But it actually said that it could not easily make these for various reasons. I thought it was interesting that it pointed out that even though it can suggest story ideas and craft instructions, these resources actually rely heavily on classroom knowledge, which AI simply does not have. For example, it cannot accurately account for standard alignment or age appropriacy because this is knowledge that comes from experience in a classroom. It also would struggle to take cultural sensitivity and classroom practicality and access to materials into account. Again, these are things that only us as teachers would be able to think about logically because AI is smart, but it's never been in a classroom with 30 children trying to organize a craft activity, trying to keep everyone engaged, and still trying to meet school requirements. So these are resources that I think a buyer will be able to feel the difference between something vague and AI generated versus something that has been well thought out by a teacher who has been in their position before. Only us as teachers have the critical thinking abilities to decide if this would work for a certain grade level, or if this would be practical in a busy classroom, or if this would meet the learning standards, and if the students would actually stay engaged and be happy to learn from this. So in this case, our knowledge and experience is super powerful, and it's irreplaceable by AI. Okay, so I will leave you with that thought for the upcoming week. I hope you are able to take it into account when choosing your next product, and that you are able to stay motivated and confident in your strengths and abilities. I know that it's a constant battle when we are faced with AI generated products on TpT daily, but fight against those intrusive thoughts to give up as much as possible. And remember that your hands on experience simply cannot be replicated. I hope you have a successful and productive week further with many, many sales. And I will see you here next week with a new topic for TpT sellers. Bye.